Hey guys, it's your boy PifferyGoodness, and in today's video, we're going to be discussing Logic Pro shortcuts and workflow tips. I hope you find this video useful or informative, and if you're new to this channel, please hit the subscribe button below, and if you enjoy what you're watching, please hit the like button so we can get this video to 1,000 likes. And if you have any suggestions for this video or any future videos, please leave them in the comment section below. And without any further talking, let's get started. Alright, so this is a quick tips and tricks video. I'm not going to do any talking. We're going to get straight into the tips. So tip 1 would be quick track duplication. If you have an audio track and say you want another audio track, the best way to do it, or for most cases, to either click here or go to the menu shortcut and create a new track. But in Logic Pro X and 9, you could just have that track selected, double click into that empty space, and now it'll just keep making duplicates of that track that we want. Pretty cool. The next tip, hiding tracks. So we have all these tracks available. Say some of these we don't need, or we just don't need them right now. But the best way to get these tracks out the way without deleting them is to hide them. So how do we hide tracks? We press H on the keyboard. H will bring up this green highlighted H, and then you have H logos next to every track that you have created. Now for the tracks you want to hide, you just select them by clicking that H on the tracks until they're highlighted green, then press the H logo again on your keyboard. And now, once you press the H, all those tracks that you selected are now gone, and you have a highlighted orange H next to your, on top, actually, of your track header, telling you that you have tracks hidden. The next tip, grouping. Now, grouping could be extremely useful if you're doing a lot of instrumentation or you're working in a big, session with a bunch of drum selection, horn selection, string selection, anything of that nature. And now grouping could be very helpful because if you want to do something to affect all those tracks or turn the volume down on multiple tracks without going in and doing it for each individual track, grouping is for you. And how do we start a group? We go on the track that we want, and this would be the first audio track. Right here below the stereo out, this blank space, we're going to click there, and where it says Group 1 New, we're going to click that. Then it's going to bring us to this place, and it's going to ask us to name that group. We're going to call this group Drums. Group Drums have been created. Now, we could either choose to hide that group, very convenient, but we don't need to hide it. With that group, we're going to click here and see the settings of that group. Now, this is all the stuff that we'll be able to control by just using one track. So if we say solo, record, all that stuff, we want those functions to go across all the tracks in that group. That is what's going to happen. So let's get out of the settings, and now we have this track in the group called Drums, but we need to put these other tracks in this group called Drums so it could take the benefits of what the group may have. So we go here, and we just add it to group Drums. Now, all these tracks are inside the group Drums, so in the event that we want to solo, it solos all the tracks, mutes all the tracks. Oh, I have no input source selected, so we can't do that, but we could change the volume on all the tracks. Pretty cool. All right, our next tip is Multitrack Selection. So we have all these tracks here, and we want to select them all, but it's not like you could press Command A and select all the tracks. So what can we do? You press Shift and hold Shift, and then if you want to select 1, 2, 3, 4 with Shift being held, right click, and now all those tracks are selected. Pretty cool. And this is just a little kicker. While having Shift selected, say you want to go and mute this track. Mute it. And you see it mutes all the other tracks. Pretty cool. But we can mute this track, have Shift selected, and with the right click still being held, we could go on and mute multiple tracks. Pretty cool. And same thing with solo. Or if you want to unmute them, just go with Shift being held down and the right click still being held, you could unmute all those tracks. And if you're curious to why these just all mute at once, remember, these are still inside that group for drums. So whatever affects one affects all.